Sorry I'm crouched during this whole video. I hope my head goes out of picture because I haven't figured out this angle yet. What's happening, guys? It's Elly here, and I have my tea, so you know what that means. It's another episode of Tea Time. So for this tea time, I'm going to be talking about a book I recently read called Divergent by Veronica Roth. So right off the bat, I'm just going to go in right ahead and say I really liked this book. I've seen a lot of really great reviews from this book, and they definitely hold true. So in the past, I've started my reviews by telling you guys a little bit about the book, reading the summary, but this book doesn't really have a summary on the back. It just kind of has reviews. But it does say, one choice decides your friends, one choice defines your beliefs, one choice determines your loyalties forever, one choice can transform you. So pretty much the gist of this book is it's a dystopian society in the future that takes place in Chicago, that I found out because they mentioned the bean. I'm not sure if they ever actually say it's in Chicago. This book is about a futuristic society where there's 5 different factions that you're born into, and when you turn 16 you take an aptitude test, and it tells you which faction you're meant to go in, and you can either choose to go into that faction, stay in your home faction with your family, or choose a different faction altogether. But once you're 16 and you choose your faction, there's no going back. It's pretty much once you leave the nest, you're gone and you cannot go and see your family again, and your faction becomes your family. So within this book, there are 5 different factions, and they are Abnegation the Selfless, Amity the Peaceful, Candor the Honest, Erudite the Intelligent, and Dauntless the Brave. This book follows the life of Beatrice Pryor, or Triss. She is born into the Abnegation faction, which wear gray clothes and no makeup, and their hair is pulled back. And they only have one mirror in our house, and it's behind a panel so they can't look at themselves. Without giving away major plot details, she's 16 and she goes to take her aptitude test, and it comes back that she is divergent, meaning she can't fit directly into one of the separate factions, and she's kind of a combination of all of them. So she has to come up with a decision of which faction to choose, to stay with her family or to go off on her own and do something different. Ultimately, she ends up choosing Dauntless for the brave, and so she leaves her family behind and she goes onto this whirlwind trip with Dauntless, who are pretty much maniacs. They fight and they kill and they jump in and out of trains for fun and off buildings. For some reason, coming from the Selfless where you do nothing, she goes to Dauntless. Yeah. So pretty much my overall view of the book is it was a very good book. I definitely recommend it. It kind of reminded me of Hunger Games in a bit, kind of like the factions, like the districts, and there's a fence around the city, I think. There is a little love interest in here, but it's not really that prominent towards the beginning. It's more like the last couple chapters, and even then it's not that prominent. Like, the whole point of this book is just the war within the factions and a war breaking out and training. When it comes to Triss, I was not a big fan of her. She's very ignorant of the world outside of Abnegation. Like, the first time she had a burger was in Dauntless because they can't have foods that are too rich in Abnegation, and she doesn't understand like affection and when you like someone, how you can kiss them and it's not wrong to do that in public. And she doesn't understand about herself and how someone could like her, and she's really late to pick up on things. Like, things I was screaming at her during the book, like it's so blatantly obvious some things that happen, and she's just, it totally goes over her head. And I don't know, I can't relate to Triss very much without the book, because she does some stupid things. Like, the first thing she does is pick Dauntless. No, I would not have picked Dauntless, I would have picked Abnegation, and that was her first problem. So in the back of my book, they have Veronica Roth provides this faction quiz where you can take a quiz and it will tell you what faction you're in. After I read the book, I decided to take the quiz, and I got Amity, which is the peaceful, I think. And they weren't mentioned very much in the first book, but I heard they are in the second book, which is Insurgent, and I already started it. I don't have a physical copy. I finished this book last night, and I don't have Insurgent yet, but I found the audiobook online, so I listened to the first chapter of Insurgent already, and it picks off literally right where this book left off. Because when I finished this book, I was very upset at the ending because it was so sudden. I posted a picture on Instagram, and I had about that much of the book left to read. I posted a picture on Instagram with my bookmarker and was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to spend the whole night reading this. And that was at like 7:30. By the time it was 8, I was done because I didn't realize how much bonus material was in the back of this book. It has author question and answers, discussion guide, Divergent playlist, which is songs you can listen to while you're reading, which is really cool. The faction manifestos, quiz questions, writing tips, and a bit of Insurgent. So, if you aren't aware, as you can read right there, there's a film adaptation of this book coming out March 21st, I believe, and it's starring Shailene Woodley and Theo something, I can't remember his name. I'm really looking forward to that. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say about this book. It's a good book. I definitely recommend reading it, and I'm going to get right into reading Insurgent. Probably go back to the audiobook after this. So that's it for this tea time, guys. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below if you have any suggestions you want me to read, listen to, watch, and I will definitely get to them in the future. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Vine. All my social media sites will be in the down bar. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe because I post new videos every Wednesday in addition to these tea time videos, which brings me to an announcement. During the month of November, I will be having a Hunger Games month. I will be having tea time episodes every Friday. I think there's going to be 5 episodes in this mini tea time series. I will be rereading all of the Hunger Game books. Plus, I will be reviewing the movie Hunger Games, and also when Catching Fire comes out in the theaters at the end of this month, I will be giving you a review on that and my thoughts. So please make sure you subscribe to get those. Links are all in the down bar. Click that subscribe button right there. I want to say it's there. Maybe there. I don't know. Either way, click it. And that's it. So I'm gonna go. Bye guys.